back. Music. Music. There it is. Look at all my tags. Can I follow myself? What? Oh. 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 Oh, weird. The lemon didn't pop up on delay on the stream thing. Ah, that's my sunglasses. Well, I spent a lot of money yesterday. I ended up buying things. I helped out a friend and it gave me some money, so I'm like, huh. I was gonna buy a whole heap of Kingdom Hearts games, but I found a deal that was just too good to pass up for ultrasonic cleaners. Which seems to have disappeared. Oh, okay, that was the white screen. Just refresh that. I'm like, what was this link? Yesterday. Did it get mixed into another tab? I don't think so. Weird. Oh, quit it, I don't think. Ah, here we go. No? Well, that's where this tab went anyway. Oh, we don't need that one. I don't know, I really gotta sort out my damn tabs. Anyway, I found an ultrasonic cleaner on, I really want to know where this tab went now. I don't think it's this one. No. God knows. But yeah, it's an ultrasonic cleaner. No, I really want to find that tab, damn it. Oh, it could really just go away. I don't think I'm going to need that one for a long time. I could probably quit everything else there. Keep that tab around. It should be up here, damn it. Or just on the end of my chat. I messed with a number of other things afterwards. Fairly certain it's not on this lot of tabs. No. Yeah, I must have just quit it. Strange. It's very unlike me. Although I did just quit things then. I really gotta clear what I have. Well, but yeah, it was an ultrasonic cleaner, one that was only $50, which is considerably cheap. And I was like, oh great, because usually you look at it like like 70 to 90 bucks for like the cheapest of ultrasonic cleaners. Like a 5 liter one or something. But this one was 10 liters. And I'm like, hang on a second. All the numbers seem to check out. It seems to be all correct. It even looks like I might have a power plug that would work. It is very confusing. Yeah, so a 10 liter ultrasonic cleaner. All I can assume is they somehow misplaced the decimal place, because it's supposed to be more like $500. So, you don't think that? Why are you staring at me? Yeah. This guy makes really nice things, damn it. What's wrong with your face? Horrible. I wonder how many times stuff like that's actually happened to people. Surprise birthday parties like that are not a good idea. Alright. I know. Think about it. Oh yeah, problems. I think these gears actually work perfectly fine. They don't actually have the problem. Wait, yes they do. What? Hang on. No. Ah. I want to fix the twist. But it... I can't logically compute it. It seems like it would work, but it also seems like it doesn't work, but I can't figure out why it would, and I can't figure out why it wouldn't. It does, but it doesn't. And it hurts. And the cat is constantly staring at me in the corner of my vision, just behind my screen, from a distance away. I literally just gave her more food than I think should be able to eat. I can see her plate. I think she wants some attention, but she doesn't want to step on the ground because of fleas. I'm gonna see what she wants. I'll switch to the screen. We're back. He has actually eaten basically all the food. She's eaten almost half a tin of food today. More than half a tin of food. Crazy. Okay, yeah, so with the circular thing, I wanted to spin around more or less around depending on the pitch, the circular pitch, or the pitch diameter. So the rotation divided by the pitch diameter. Spinning thing as well. Twist. I mean, I know that's what it should be, but it's interesting that that's what it is. I feel like I should recode this entire damn thing. It's all over the place. Yeah, this should be twist divided by the pitch radius divided by that thing, I guess, and then times d. Wherever twist happens to be, which should only be there and here. Why you not speak? What are you talking? There we are. I hadn't clicked on the chat thing, so I didn't know how to say things.
LMAO.
Yeah, I went on a spending spree yesterday. Bought some things. I don't understand why I can't. Let's just use this tab.
By the way, I stream as well.
Oh no. What this?
And watch your stream on my stream.
I bought this thing. Look at this thing, it's crazy. Ultrasonic cleaner.
Mono, hello there, I hope you're having a good day, sir.
Oh, hello, wow. Well, yesterday, 2 people joined and said, like, hi, and then immediately left.
What piece of shit is this?
Yeah, it's an ultrasonic cleaner. For $59.09, apparently. It's apparently 10-liter capacity, a heck of a lot of watts on its heating unit, and whatever 240-watt ultrasonic thing. It's 40 hertz. I have no clue what is good or bad about any of this stuff. All I know is a comparison to other things.
Mono, can you make tuna in it?
I mean, I suppose if you put a tuna fish in it, tuna would come out, yes. If you left it in there for a while. Not sure if it'd be clean or dirty. Anyway. Yeah, the interesting thing about this, again, the price is $59. It doesn't have different variations, so this isn't even just like the lower, lesser version of it.
Mono, or was it salmon?
I don't know. I don't think you put tuna in it, it comes out salmon. Wait, what is tuna? Is salmon tuna? Tuna's tuna. Tuna fish. Salmon. I don't know. But yeah, if you look at the prices of the other one, they are mildly more expensive other than this one. Like, that one's a comparable price. This one's 1.3 liters, but it's actually only 1 liter because they say nothing about it. So I'm getting a 10-liter one, and this is a 1 liter for the same sort of price. If I was to look at other 10-liter ones, if I even can find a 10-liter one, basically they have an extra 0 on the price. Yeah, that one will have 10-liter ones probably. No variations. Okay. Did I just click on the same one? This is the same one. Wait, no, it's the same image. Huh. Anyway, I think they might have messed up the prices a little bit. And they misplaced a decimal point. So that's a 6-liter one for $200. 380 watts. That's mildly amount more wattage. I'm assuming that's for the heater. What's the one I'm looking at right now? Why doesn't it say a price? I'm confused. I guess it's out of stock or something? I don't know. Anyway, that's a pretty damn fancy price, so I ordered one of those. I'll see how it goes. Yeah, look at that. So it's only got 200 watt heating while it's got 300. And only 180 watt. It's got 240. Yeah, so it just seems like all the specs seem to be correct. They just sort of misplaced a 0. I looked for just 10-liter ones. Yeah, I see 490. That's 6 liter. 10 liter, 530, 700, 10 liter. Yeah. I don't know, I ordered one. But it's definitely something that a lot of people would want.
Mono, it looks like a combination of a toaster and fryer.
Yeah, so basically, if you don't know what an ultrasonic cleaner is, you can get cheap ones for just like cleaning glasses and jewelry and junk like that. It's got very interesting mixes of language on it. Like that attention is not English, or it's very, very badly spelled with some auto-translating thing. I'm assuming it's like French or something, I don't know, some other language that just looks sort of the same. But all the rest of the text is the same. Must be connected to ground. I don't know what that means because the plug doesn't seem to have a ground plug. It's missing the ground. They'll do though, and that does seem to be an Australian plug, which is interesting. But yeah, you got one side of it which you can change the temperature, so it'll heat up the water in the vat or whatever you have in it, and then the other side's just how long, just a timer for how long to stay on for. And it looks like you can switch between different hertz ranges, one for just like a broad, like, you know, just a quick clean sort of thing, and another one for focused cleaning, as they said. So basically an ultrasonic cleaner is just, well, ultrasonic sound in this water thing, so it's got like a dish thingy in there, and it's got like a ultrasonic thing. Apparently it's got two of them. Yeah. And it just vibrates the water at ultrasonic cleaners, or liquid, ultrasonic sounds, and it makes like cavitation bubbles. So like, the really cool thing about sound, as you may know, it's like pressure waves. You have like a high pressure point and a low pressure point, which literally is a high pressure and low pressure point. I was watching some videos on it a while ago and I was like, oh, wow. The like difference between those points of pressure can actually be quite dramatic, and you can use them for like heating and cooling things. So you can actually get a heater or a cooling thing that uses literally just sound waves. You place your thing in the focus point on the hot or cold area, and it will heat it up. And you can also do the other thing around where you can add energy or remove energy at those focal points to create sound. Anyway, so along with lots of other stuff, it's not as simple as that. But yeah, basically at the points where the frequencies are making the high and low points at the ultrasonic scale, that like the high frequency area, or low, whichever one it is, basically tries to pull the water apart.
Mono, you have fun with your ultrasonic cleaner. I prefer my Wii bowling ball.
But yeah, it literally like pulls the water apart into, you know, oxygen, hydrogen or whatever, and makes a bubble. And then when the wave moves on, that bubble collapses and gets squished down, which creates like a crazy amount of heat, like surface of the sun sort of temperatures in this little finite point, like this itsy bitsy little thing. But yeah, all of that shaking around and those super things, you could put rusty stuff in there and it'll come out, you know, rust free and stuff like that. It'll break the rust off of stuff. It'll wash grease out of things and all that sort of stuff. If you put something that's glued together, it will, you know, destroy the glue, apparently. So don't put glasses or things in it, like, that are held together by glue, because it'll just fall apart. Apparently you can put your hand in it just fine, as one of the things that it says, like, great for skin healthcare, keeping your skin young. Like, yeah. Like, you can put your hand in it, but it's recommended not for very long, because, you know, you are also a liquid, and those cavitation things will be in you a bit. So, generally just, like, gets rid of all the oils from your skin, like, in a bad way. You should have a layer of oil on you at all times. It's the sort of the point. It's protective layering. Yeah, it'll just completely clean out, like, your fingers and stuff. But anyway, if you put tin foil in it, it's one of the videos you see, like, just a sheet of tin foil, like, you put that in there, and it'll just start getting shredded and dissolving into the water, like, just getting ripped apart like crazy, like it's been put into acid or something. Anyway, so I'll be able to put my 3D prints into this thing, and just turn it on for a few seconds, then it will clean out all the excess resin that hasn't been
Mono,
cured.
I'm not a liquid, I'm a gas. Unless I watch hentai, then I'm a solid.
Oh no. Your butt can create all the elements. Solids, liquids, and gases. Yeah, so that should be great. I'm just not sure because it's so big. It requires such a large amount of power, and I have no clue what it's going to sound like. I've got the feeling it's going to be extremely loud because I have that range of hearing, at least as far as I know. I still have that range of hearing. Been quite damaged because of that damn bus stop that one time. But yeah. So that's cool. As I said, it's only 60 bucks, you know? I mean, that's a relatively low price just in general. Because usually when the prices are that low, you just got this basic stuff that doesn't have any of the temperature. It doesn't have the temperature part to it, and it won't have a timer on it. Or maybe it does still have a timer. Yeah, look at that one. Like, it's just for cleaning the dentures and junk, and it's so expensive, but it's just trash. No. The other thing I found is when I print really thin, small parts, like flat sheets of things, it can warp and distort while cooling. And apparently one way to help with that is by, once the print's finished, if I had something like this, it doesn't matter if it's like this or not, but you basically just put it into warm water and then cure it. And then let the water slowly cool down, and that stops it from warping, apparently. So that has a heater in it. I could just leave it in there. Oh, I don't have to use the heating part. I could literally just put hot water from the tap in and that'll do. It says it as long as it's higher than 20 degrees. Apparently the heat helps with the cavitations and stuff. The ultrasonic cleaning power. Anyway, I got that, and I also got these things. So I figured out a way that I can use my camera on my phone wirelessly as camera.
Mono, linked here.
Oh, wait, what? Oh no. I bet there's a lot of videos of people like... I don't... So I guess that's the end of the Wii remote that's just like put inside. Okay, it's got a strap on it. Oh my god. I gotta say, somehow, I don't get how, but I learned to play tennis better using the Wii than I ever did with actually doing tennis for like 5 years. It's just that immediate feedback with how the strokes work and stuff. It's very serious face. Oh, crazy. Bet your fingers get sore. It's probably not that heavy though, is it? Anyway, so yeah, I got one of these things to hold my phone. I got one with the magnifying glass on it, 8 times. I'm not really sure what sort of timesing I want. But it just clips onto the table. So yeah, I'll probably have like my phone, and then have that above the phone so I can see, and I can assemble stuff, and you guys can see, instead of just me talking about how amazing everything is while you're just staring at a blank screen. I also got this thing, very mixed reviews about how good these things are. Generally the only ones that are good is like a fisheye lens or the macro lens, but even then... Is my music louder than it should be? No. Well, not fine. Yeah, it's still got very mixed reviews, but apparently it's got these 2 lenses on it. Although it shows in this thing it's got a clip. Every other image after that does not. Like, this thing is what the clip thing is. So apparently you just put that over your phone and you just screw it on. And then this little bit here lets you slide the lens up and down if you need to adjust it. So yeah, it's got that thing on it. Apparently that one doesn't have anything on it. It's interesting.
Mono, I have one of those.
Yeah, a lot of disappointed people wherever you see this stuff. As I said, it has to be screwed onto the phone, and apparently it's made out of conductive metal, so it constantly registers a tap to the phone screen, and his phone won't take a photo whilst the finger's on the screen. So it doesn't work. But there's workarounds for that. I could just put something between it so it doesn't feel like it's touching or anything. Yeah. So those should be arriving on Monday, apparently. Ultrasonic cleaner's going to be coming on the 8th, whenever that is. You know, as long as that boat doesn't delete things too much.
Mono, they can work but depends on size and shape of phone camera.
Yeah, well I got an Edge 7, which is not one of the ones that it has in its list. It has only up to 10. But as far as I can figure out, the Edge 7 and Edge 10, or whatever the 10 version is, the camera location's in exactly the same height, but this does have like a bit of a rim around it in a way, so it might be a little bit far away, so the lens is just like a little bit further away from the sensor than it's supposed to be, so it might not focus correctly. I don't know. Friend gave me money, so I'm spending the money. Either that or it just sits there and I just buy Kingdom Hearts or something. But yeah, there's a whole lot of like there's 10 and 1 things and all that sort of junk for basically the same price or less, but apparently these are all made out of plastic. I think somebody said that it is actually made out of glass. It is glass and metal, not just a plastic lens. Another common thing is people always complaining about it being blurry, no matter what. I don't think it would help with actually streaming with the camera, because the focus distance is well too close to it. I won't be able to hold it in focus and also be messing with stuff, but you never know. I could also my chat works on the phone, and the thingy for showing my phone, like using my phone webcam, also works with the phone microphone, so I can literally just be in the other room with my phone and you guys still can hear and see everything. What? What do you want, kitty? That's your food. Why meowing at me? She wants more sauce. She's just looking all the sauce off. I don't know. I was thinking about getting a light box as well. But I don't really care about a light box. I'll just use a cardboard box and just put sheets of paper in it, you know, that'll do. I've got some LED strips and stuff, although I have another power connector for it, so I can probably find one around easy enough. But yeah. So that's a thing. But I need to print out more stuff so I can do all that stuff. Pitch radius is connected to things, let's see how that works. Yeah, I'm not sure if I said last time, but these gears actually fit together. I thought that entire lot of prints was just a complete fail because I had everything spinning in the same direction, so you know that and that won't connect together, but this and that will because it's spinning in opposite directions, which is rather annoying. But I could try it, and it fit perfectly with the higher one, yeah, the 1.5, which actually might just be the 1, I'm not sure, because it doesn't make sense why I have the higher one but not the middle one. Like 0.5 is what it is by default. Maybe I just jumped straight to it because I didn't think that would be enough of a difference. Not fun sounds. Anyway, they work perfectly, but the only problem with spun gears like this, which is now confusing why I'm even bothering to code them, if one of them is jammed up and you're still trying to turn it, it pushes outwards. So, you know, if this gear was sideways connected to that, it would be trying to force its way out or force its way in, which is not a good thing. So they have to have like much stronger supports if I'm going to be putting any sort of force behind the gear, otherwise it's just going to be popping itself out of place. Because, you know, when it tries to force in, because it's slant, it's also going to be trying to force upwards, putting all its weight on the pin, or force on the pin. Anyway. And I also had the spin wrong. I have no clue why it works, but it does. I can only assume it's not enough of a problem. Or maybe there's something else at play with these types of gears. But if I had like the normal flat gears, and I put a spin on this one and a spin on that one, you know, if I spun them both around by 20 degrees, this one, because it's further away, is spinning more distance, so they won't actually mesh together. So I need to divide it by the distance, which is what I just did then, which should make it fix. I tried just doing a little test and it still seemed to not work.
Mono, I want to buy this linked here.
What? Is something I even want to put on my screen? Oh wow. It's a very nice looking model. I could 3D print one. The fine, thin details on this thing. What is this from? I'll never understand how like glass things like that work, because you would never use the one at the bottom unless you removed all the rest of them. There you get up. Oh wait, no, it just seems to sit. I thought they were in a spiral thing.
Azure Lane.
I don't remember. What enemy? I mean, I don't recognize this battleship thing. Like, is it not Gundam or something, is it? Wonder if there's gonna be another one like that, but from a different angle?
Mono,
No, it's not.
It's a game with an anime made after it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a very elegant model. Quite the detail. Nicely painted. So yeah, what the heck am I doing? So I'm just going to ditch that. I'm just going to go with the flat gears because, you know, that spin on these ones is just going to make them pop off their little holding things or move out of the way. So, you know, I need really strong holdings if I want to do that.
I'll buy a full-sized body pillow.
Oh, man. One day I will buy one of those things. It's just one of those, like, you know, it's like a rule that I set for myself many years ago that if I ever found one of those things, I would buy it. I don't know why. It's just a thing that I did for some reason, so... The problem is, because usually they're just, as far as my understanding goes, it's just a cover.
Same here.
They don't actually have the pillow part to it. I need the actual pillow part too. Because how do you get one but not the other? You know? Also, I reckon they would just be pretty good. Just having a big pillow like that.
The pillow you should buy from Wish.
Nah, I'd only get it if it was something like I went to a convention and they were selling them or something. I would just grab one there. But I went to a convention and they didn't have any. I was like, what? Like, what? What do you mean? This isn't right. Back to designing this thing. I don't want to... whatever. I mean, I really should create some sort of a basic infill. But I mean, I have all my gears down now. Oh yeah, there was another problem. We pick those gears off, was the thing. I mean, it's not really a problem.
Mono, pillow on body pillow website 80 euros, pillow on Wish 10 euros.
Well, I mean, how much padding does it have? And it's the other sort of a question. If it's just like a bed sheet, you know, there's not much problem, not much point. You don't really notice the bevel.
Also, you can buy body pillow boobs.
Okay. I can't imagine that being very good. Yeah, the other thing I'd buy is one of those mouse mats. You know, the, with the, I don't even really know what they're called. The extra gel pads on them or whatever. I can't imagine them being very good either.
I really want to buy them.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this thing spinning around.
I have multiple in my wish list.
The bevel that I put on these gears I don't think is near enough. I think I should double it, which is really annoying, because it's a pain to do that in the first place. Although the topology of these gears are just trash. It's within tolerances, so you don't actually see it. But, yeah, hang on. Let's grab my cat for back.
Mono, the problem is I have parents and I can't really guess their reaction since they know next to nothing about me.
Well, I could always just move out. Sounds like you know next to nothing about them if you don't know what their reaction would be. Okay. The attention you will seek.
Mono, I'll move out in like 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. The meow eye sitting on me? Not too much problem.
Mono, my parents know I like anime, but they don't know nearly how degenerate I am.
I imagine pretty much nobody does. Not even you. Anywho, what do I do? I guess I should just continue on with the design of that thing. So, yeah, I want to put one of those 90-degree things on it.
Mono, friends know.
Mm. Okay. Call them a cat. Hasn't talent for attention in a while. Nice and low.
Mono, next anime convention there is, I'll go there and buy a body pillow. Or Faku skateboard.
Oh, what? Okay. So, how does this thing work?
Mono, Faku is a hentai publisher and they also make really cool skateboards.
Okay. Anyway, Solomon. I know. Yeah, so I gotta make some sort of a latchy locky thing. To... I suppose it should be to stop this from moving around. This part just puts tension on the spring. This actually holds the gears together. No, that's got its own latchy locky thing. That little part I'm popping over. Okay. So... Wait.
Mono, the most weeb pillows I have are Neko neck cushions and they hang on the same line as the curtains in my room.
Okay. Is this even a problem? Because this can move around all at once. The problem would just be with it driving gears backwards a bit with its backlash sort of a thing. But maybe it doesn't even need to be locked. And it's just got to move far enough that it could push the thing off. And over. I don't know. This is actually extremely confusing. Do I literally just have to print this and see what happens? Because it's like... This could be forcing these gears to rotate around, which are directly connected to the stuff on the top. But, you know, it will be forcing its way until that. And then this will be connected on one side, it pops up, and it should slip over and go down the other side. But that slip over part could disconnect the, I don't know why that gear is connected there. It could disengage, like disengage, you know, it's going to be disengaging from this middle gear, which could mean that for a moment these will all just unwind and this will just like pull self back before this has moved all the way and clicked down on the other side. So yeah, I think I do need something to stop this thingy from just jumping back. Why did I get a bloop? It was you. What did you send me? Buddy. Ah, damn it. Why am I on Facebook? Now I'm looking at notifications.
Mono, I bought them during a school trip.
Sounds reasonable. Yeah, so I need to stop this from moving. I could have some sort of rotation thing going through this, so it will rotate something else. And I don't know. So it's, I was thinking one of those dual rotatey things. I mean, this has to work against the springs, so yeah.
Mono, use super glue.
Supper glue. I'll let, wait, super supper? Yeah. I'll never understand that whole super supper thing. Because soup, her, has two P's, soup, and then on her. But sup, is sup, it's only got one P, for sup. And then it's ER. But they're backwards. Why are they backwards? Good old English. Well, yeah, so this will have to work against the springs to do it this way, and not the other way. So that means if I had a latching thing, the latching thing should move a heck of a lot freely. So if I do one of those differential gear things, that should allow the latch to move out of the way while it's doing this sort of a thing. And the latch should be in place. I can't see the latch requiring more force, but if it did require more force, then it took to pull that away across, which just wouldn't happen. Maybe it's jammed or something like that, then we could have a problem.
At least it ain't nearly as bad as Dutch spelling and grammar.
Yeah. Kitty cat. I'm sort of standing on my mouse a bit there. I'm sorry, kitty cat, I'm gonna be talking. Kitty. I can't put you on the ground because you're just gonna not like that. Want me to carry you back to the table? Okay. Don't blow yourself from my keyboard, kitty. There you go. What? Cracks all the stuff off my table. Gets annoyed because I'm talking, and then she won't let me pick her up, but she doesn't want to jump off. What was it on? Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that method, because I feel like it should have to do the latchy thing, and then this should work. I could have... some sort of a rod thing, I'm thinking? I don't want too much movement, though. But I could have, like, a rack, and, so, like, if I had this gear in the middle or something like that instead, and then another gear over here, and then I had a rack, and that rack could serve as the lock and also to turn the gear to push it down. So then when the next one goes, it's got to unwind, which would pull that rack back, which would be pulling it back across, never mind. Well, actually, it could work. So, you just have it like half and half sort of thing. No, that'd be pointless, because if it could move...
Mono, you're a pan and coat.
A what? Yeah. So the latching thing has to be separate from this, because that's the whole point. I don't want this moving around. So this moving around can't unlock the latch, which doesn't work. So that means I can't have the latch powered by this thing. So it has to be powered like I had before. I don't like that, because it'd be like clicking and stuff. But that way would work. Why didn't I like it? What was wrong with that method? Why don't I see a problem with it now? What was the problem with that method? I am confused. Why don't I see a problem? So yeah, the two latches on either side, the rotating of this gear basically, would slide the latch down and the other one up, or vice versa. Oh yeah, because when it's turning, sure, it would be moving into the position while it's spinning to be able to slide across. Which is great if you want to slide across, but then once it's slid across, it's changed direction, so it will be moving in the opposite direction, so now it would be lining it up latches so it could just pop free, which is what you don't want. You only want it to be able to do that when these gears are turning. Some sort of a mixed system? No, because if these gears are directly connected to the thing that the latch is trying to stop.
It's something you can say to someone who just did something stupid. It's like a nice way of calling someone an idiot. You can also use flap drawl, which translates into flappy shit.
Here in Australia, you just literally say any word. You drongo. You dingo. You bloody cat opener. It's all about the way you say it, not what you say. Fair income. So yeah, if I had a 90-degree bendy thingy, then no, but yes, but maybe.
Mono, Panencook is a pancake.
Okay, so yeah, the 90-degree bendy thing would work. It is directly connected, but if I just had the latch long enough, so it had to spin and like lock and then keep going, so it was really locked, and that way any backlash that this would have wouldn't be enough to pull it all the way out. It has to keep rotating, which wouldn't be able to pull this gear, so it would be transferred to the other thing that would move the latch. That would make the latch guaranteed to be working. Yes. Maybe. Because I need two latches. No. Yeah, that would be guaranteed working. Because it literally could not pull this out while the latch is on, which means the power has to be going to opening the latch. There's no other way around it. And then if it got stuck on the other side, because there's a latch on one side and a latch on the other way, if it's half pulled out one, it's half pulled out, put in the other one.
Mono. Also, the butter, cheese, and egg girls were somewhat made.
What? Oh, yeah, after the dots and crosses one, I assume. Okay, so I feel like that would work. So then how would this work? That means I need the 90-degree thing, which has its output in 3 different sides, and or 2 different sides and an input, which could be moved to, you know. So any 3 of the 4 sides would be inputs or outputs. So I could just have it here in a way, input there, output here.
ZZ, assy ass opie opie.
Oh, I was like, what? Yeah, you're the other guy. Yeah, so one down, input there, and then the other output off to the side. Or I could have... I'm trying to avoid the 90-degree angle bends for some reason. It's just more annoying to print, but it just depends on how I'm going to do it. Yeah, so...
ZZ, what is this all about, by the way? Are you making a mechanical computer?
The tic-tac-toe thing. You haven't heard the explanation about the tic-tac-toe thing, I assume? Or do you want me to explain the whole thing? Glitchy stuff. Whatever. Yeah, so... Okay. Where's my 90-degree bendy thing? While this thing's trash, it does do what it's supposed
ZZ,
to.
LMAO.
There it is. And it takes a while to do the full explanation if you want it, you know.
The boater cause any errand thing.
What?
ZZ, therefore you indeed making a mechanical computer LMAO.
I mean, I guess it could be seen like that. There's a whole lot of parts here, I don't want to grab them all. I need at least that. Almost fits nicely within there. Need to work on my tolerances a bit. But yeah, this thing. I would have shown it to you many times.
Google Antikythera mechanism.
Whoop.
Mono. No, it's automotin.
Oh yeah, let's see. It's just a... It's for just figuring out, like, planetary movements or something, isn't it? Just a lot older. Yeah, automaton, I guess. I mean, it's sort of a computer. It technically... I mean, it's a hard-coded thing, though. A computer generally is something you can reprogram.
ZZ. Well, it's a computer. Are they call it this way?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's just more of a sensualization or whatever. As far as I know, there's nothing in it that's programmable. Like, a computer requires you to be able to change inputs and outputs based on variables. Sure.
So maybe your piece of shit isn't a computer.
No. I mean, is a music...
It's a piece of shit opie. I
guess, like, is a music box a computer? Because that is something you can technically change the variables of by putting in different reels of stuff. But it doesn't make decisions. I guess it has to make decisions based on the inputs.
Mono.
Maybe.
No, it's not.
I mean, but it sort of does make decisions whether or not the note's going to be played, depending on where the pip is. So it could be, but it's not complicated enough, it feels like. But it's technically a programmable computer to be able to play different songs. Maybe it just requires some sort of a logic system to it for it to be a computer. I know a Turing computer requires logic and memory. Maybe memory's the key? Even if it doesn't have the logic part? Or the full logic part? I don't know. But yeah, this is what a sort of block out looks like of this thing. So yeah, it's tic-tac-toe. You take turns just pushing down the buttons.
By the way, I thought about mechanical computers. Thought that oil-based computers are the way to go.
I was like, I always wanted to make like a light-based thing. Like as I said, like the first things I ever did with programming, I guess, was just playing with redstone, like actual classic redstone in Minecraft. And from what I designed there at school, like I also created a computer that would run on lasers. No, not a computer, a clock. I wanted to make like a laser-based clock. It still had to use light sensors though to convert from light to electricity again.
A computer is an electronic device for storing and processing data, typically in binary form, according to instructions given to it in a variable program.
So, storing and processing data, I guess, is the key part. based on variables that you can set. Well, I mean, technically this is storing and processing data based on variables you set, so maybe it is a computer.
ZZ. Well, computers can be mechanical, so the word electronic is redundant here. Mono. Electronic is also an important part.
Yeah, but basically by light-based clock thingy, the way it would work is you would have what was it? I think my original thing was just shutters, but you could use polarizing filters.
ZZ. Not for the mechanical computers.
But basically you would just fire a laser down a path, and there would be beam splitters and shutters. So the laser would go down and into a beam splitter, which will then hit a light detector, which takes a certain amount of time to open up a shutter. And then when the shutter's open and the light can pass through, it hits the next beam splitter to the next light shutter. And then when it goes all the way around, it would take like a minute to go all the way around, or a second to go all the way around with all these shutters opening and closing. Yeah, you know, when it hits the last one, all shutters close, which takes a second or the same amount of time. While toggling things, I don't know. I didn't really think too much about it. Like, how would the last one happen? Because it would shut the shutter, which turns itself off, which means it starts again. Well, I guess that's how it works.
Mono. That is literally the definition of a computer.
Yeah, you just use things other than electricity to do the same stuff. I see, like, water-based computers as a pretty fancy thing. Using weird fluid mechanical type things to be able to do strange stuff. So you can create solid-state computers. The flow of the liquid itself is what does the logic state stuff. Yeah. That's really weird. Because, like, the flow of the liquid interrupts itself in certain ways. It's like if you had a flow going down to a loop that fed back into itself, the water would be going down, but then when it loops into itself, it would be forcing itself into a different direction.
GPG for a bit. ZZ. Some medieval scientist asked monks to hold hands and stand in a circle, and he discharged an electric battery to them, and observed that they jumped all at once. Therefore, he concluded that electricity speed is really high. OPOP.
Yeah. I remember that thing. Yeah, anyway, so basically what this is, tic-tac-toe, you push down a button, so this would be the player doing that turn, and it would flip up for one player, and then once they push down the button, the next player would push down and it would flip in the other direction, so... Let me do the damn... Go. Yeah, so that would be the first player's turn, and then after the first player does that turn, the second player would push it down and it would rotate the other way, which I can do here by just lifting it. Oh yeah, some language. I remember that one. Lol. Anyway, so like this whole middle section is basically memory storage.
LMAO. Mono, in Dutch.
Yeah. So when I move it down, you can see this gear moves down to either go between that or go between this, like the top one or the bottom one. Which, you know, if player 1 does it, there it goes down. If player 2 does it, it goes up. So that basically connects this gear to that one to this one in the back here. Better if I have a bit of perspective to it. And then if it goes all the way through, that means you've got 3 in a row.
Therefore, Total Biscuit is Dick Rip Total Biscuit. Mono, it's always weird for me to see it spammed since, well, I'm Dutch.
Yeah, that's... Alright, so that's basically how it works. So each one of these, you got 3 going long ways, and you got 3 going the other way, and then you've got a diagonal one going one way and a diagonal one going the other way, which is up here. Diagonal one way, diagonal the other. Yeah, that's how this whole thing works. And then the bottom's just power distribution, so you have one big spring that would be under this, and yeah, that would be making the flow of power going through this, so when you push down a button, it allows a bit of power to go through this outside, like, bit to the right, bit to the left, which rotates all of these rods. And those are the state checkers. So if these can turn, and it turns all the way through, Then it will come out the other side. You've got if player 1 wins, if player 2 wins, and if nobody wins, these 3 output rod things.
Mono. Also, Google translates it like an insult, so the translation is very wrong.
Yeah, and then these would connect up to like a scorekeeping thing, which I haven't designed yet. And they would also go into this thing, so the main spring would be connected to this thing, which is the thing I'm sort of designing now, which allows you to put power in both directions. So you can have it turning one way or the other way. Anyway, so the scorekeeping thing would be connected to this. So if you got 3 wins in a row or something like that...
Mono. Google says lol means asshole.
If you got 3 in a row, or, you know, you got 3 in total, or whatever the logic is going to be set for that, the power goes through all of this jugs, through the state checker, increments your score, and then through to this thing to toggle the direction of the movement of the gears. So when this flips around to go in the opposite direction, when you push down a button, it stays down because it's got its latching system down here. This wheel's got like a bit of a notch in it.
Zizeth. Sekas nak nu goveret po ruski si tabi vioba po bizali v2z samu googlu paravoda a2opop.
Yeah, I got a gear with a notch, 2 gears with notches, so this one can spin around freely, but this one can't until the notch of this one lines up with the one in this one. And then this one will spin around, releasing a chunk of power. But this can't spin back until this is reset. Like, you've got to unspin this one so the notch lines up, and then when notch lines up, the whole button pops up.
Mono. Anime.
That's basically how this thing works. So, you just spin the main spring backwards to reset it. Although I don't know how the reset for the scorekeeping is going to go. Yeah, it's just a rough lockout. Just to check to see all of the gears line up and things work as they should, and it would fit within the general area I want it to be. Which doesn't quite. So yeah, now I'm just designing this part, get an actual scale that I printed at. So I gotta go through everything, redesign it all. Yeah.
LMAO, it reads Zoka wrong.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming it probably doesn't know literally every single letter and how to pronounce them. It's a heck of a lot though. So it probably substitutes letters with ones it's already pre-programmed to say. Anywho. So this thing's got to be plonked in here somehow. So I was saying it'd be around. Oh, okay, sure. That's where you want to pivot from. Because I just think of this in terms of what I want it to do at the moment, and I'll have to redesign it for the actual one. Reminds me, have any comments on that post yet? I posted my mat cap in the printing group. I don't think anybody's commented on it yet.
Zizeth. Yesterday I was in the gym doing MMA training, and geez, all muscles are hurt now. LMAO.
Doing what training? Okay. Is you weak? Did my post get deleted? Oh no, there it is. I got 2 likes.
Zizeth. Lol.
Okay, so yeah, I could have... Hang on, how does this work? So if I had the entire box spinning around, or I could have... No.
Zizeth. weak OPOP will come down to you and beat your ass up OPOP.
Up down, 40. I guess I have to have...
Wingly.
I mean... Can't really have an output there and an output there because then the entire thing can't spin around. Unless the spinning itself was the output. So I suppose I could have that. I just flip it upside down. So I'd have a gear on top of whatever the heck size that would be, generally a 2. Is what that is. Repairing all these things. Yeah, so instead of having it like that, I could have it upside down. Yeah. Oh wow, look at that, it like fits perfectly. And then instead of having that piece, whoops, all of this would be there. So this thing spins that thing, which would be spinning this and that. Sort of. Yeah. So I could have one output going to there, and then the other output going to the latching. Which does need to be in a lower step anyway. Okay. The other question is what sizes should these be? Because if one of those blocked, the other one spins twice as fast, I'm pretty sure. Song's annoying because it has talking, but I can't hear it. Yeah, so that'll do that. This will go to the other one. Should it be 1? Should it be 2? Should it be the same as this? I feel like it should be half the size, but if I have to put in more force, you know, I could make it smaller, which makes it move slower, which means I need it to rotate more. I don't know. I could figure all that out in post, you know, because that's going to depend on how much force actually gets through the entire system, because it's got to do a lot of state checking, and you got to do all of the backslash stuff. Because of all of the all of the gears have, I'm not sure how much I need it to rotate, so I'm going to have to create some sort of a tuning thing at some point, making it be able to rotate more or less in certain places, which is quite annoying to do. I guess I just need a dedicated little area.
Mono, Henpaj.
Kaj. Whatever. Okay, so latching system. How do I want that to go? I could have a little nubbin thingy at the bottom of this, works fine. Let's just make that nubbin a block. I mean, the closer to the springs, the better, really. I could have the latching just hook straight onto the sides of these, I suppose. Then I don't even need this flat part. Okay, sure, that sounds like something. Really need to be making these things thicker. These are very, very thin and small. Really, well, I mean, I said 2 was the thinnest. Whatever. So yeah, just some sort of a thing like this. Can't see it. Just with the block. I suppose inner more would be better, but it's got to move out of the way. I just don't want it to put twist into this thing. I could have rudders, I guess. So if I just extruded that down a bit, and I could have a little runner for this to go in. Actually, these parts will have runners in them too, so maybe that's not necessary. That little rod threads through this thing with a hole in them. But any friction from it being tilted's a bit annoying. I can't really have rails anywhere else, because it moves. It would only be at the very ends or underneath. I guess I could just make this part higher. There's no reason I can't other than tolerance reasons. Whatever, it should work. Alright, so if I just have a little nubbity block thing sticking out. So I'd want something like that. Oh, I did that wrong. Nope. You move over here. And you move over there. Okay. Nope. What am I doing? Well, would I have 4 separate? I am confused. No. Big pain in my hand. Where's my footrest? Okay. So yeah, I would want actually 4 separate pieces. So ideally these 2 pinch inwards, or these 2 pinch inwards. So this goes out when this goes in, and this goes out when that goes in. And then you would just toggle directions depending on directions of the gear. Okay. So I mean, they would also need to be in the positions they need to be at. I'm gonna worry about tension and all that junk. And it could be a little bit back from that. A little bit of leeway here is fine. So it'd be on the insides. Okay, so that would be like that. A little bit small. Middle. Nope. No, I suppose I could do that. Okay. I could have one of these gears in here. It could be lower down, so I have enough room for it, or whatever. So I could just do the same sort of thing I did with the other one. So I could have a rack thing going through here. I haven't designed the racks yet. I need 2. And I suppose I only need 1 in the middle. Wait, no. What am I doing? So this would basically rotate, which would be moving 1 out and the other 1 in. Yeah. No. Hang on. That was the great thing about how I had this before, because it just had a flexible and nubbly thingy. This way, if it tried to move down, it can't. So these would rotate, which would move these out of the way. But in moving those out of the way, these would be moved into the way. So it would move down and then just get stopped by the other side and the whole thing jams up. Because those can't move in any further and that can't move down any further. So that doesn't work. I think I'm gonna have to stick with the flexible nubbin. It clicks past and gets locked into position. The only problem is it's really, like, it's relying on stuff which I don't like. With how small this junk is, it's got to flick itself past it, which requires a whole lot of force to bend it out of the way. Or I could make it thinner so it requires less force, but then it could force itself under it when it shouldn't be able to. It'll also be constantly pushing on it, which means a whole lot of friction when it's trying to move it out of the way. Because it will have the force of these things trying to force it through while it's moving out of the way. But I don't really know of any better way of doing it. I'm sure there's some sort of like logic systems I could just do, like literally just create a logic system. If it's moving in this way, turn for that amount of time, and then do this. That would be the better way of doing this. But I don't really want to make a literal computer to calculate stuff. I don't really know how to do a timer. The best way I could think of for a timer is just a gear without teeth. So it's got to spin around before it latches on and pulls. But the problem with that is, how do I keep the gear from just freely wobbling around when it's not being latched on? Because ideally it's the power of the mainspring that's holding everything in its current positions, stopping everything from wobbling around. Which is a whole other problem, because technically the bottom half of this is disconnected from that while certain things are happening. Although I could just use another one of these for that. So when a player wins, it could like remove a blockage from the gears, which allows the power to flow through the other side. No, because then it requires force problems. If the other side requires more friction, then it just won't be doing that anyway. So I'd have to block up. With that is a way that I could stop the problem of the force of going through the entire system. Because the entire system only has to have enough force behind it to remove the blockage. And then this thing could just straight up power itself. That going through the entire system and back again. I need to create a toggle. I mean, I could literally just Google mechanical logic, but it would be more fun just trying to figure it out myself, you know? Should I just do that? Instead of messing with this further, because I know I'm going to require stuff, should I just create... No, I feel like I should just I could continue with this, make what I'm wanting to make, and then while it's printing I could do the logic thing, because it would be nice to have something that I could just mess around and assemble when my camera stuff gets here. So I could just like show off the assembling of things. Which is on Monday, which is Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. So tomorrow-ish. So yeah, if I could design the rest of this so I can be printing it tomorrow. Hang on, what is tomorrow? So I'm going to go to sleep and wake up and it's still going to be today. And then tomorrow's the next day. So no. So yeah. In 24 hours, tomorrow starts. Because time. Then the things will be delivered while I'll be sleeping. So that's gonna be fun. 3 different packages. We work it up, knocking on the doors constantly. Anyway, so yeah, should I just go with the double thing? Which means I need a better way of securing it. I mean, I could just do something the same as that. Yeah, I like that. Let's go for that design. Okay. I still don't even know if this design even works. Let's just grab it straight from there, I suppose. It's got mirror modifiers and jump. Let's grab from here. Okay, separate. Right, wireframe. Why does that look weird? Oh, I still got one around. Alright. So that top one should be bigger than that. It's confusing. Hard to see. Two versus 1. Is there a reason why I only have it as a 2? Oh yes, because it needs to flex up by a certain amount. I've got 1 extra, so it's got to flex up by about 2. About 1, and I've got 2 space. It should be fine. As long as the gears mesh together. This little pin... I'm just wondering if this rod flexes or bows from curing. How much of a problem would that be? It should be fine. Okay. Oh, I got 2 of these things still here. Interesting. Okay, so if I do something like that... wait. That did not need to be rotated. So you go down there. You want to be stretched across. The more longer it is, the more give I have in the flex. Should be balanced, but whatever. Let's do just the 4. 2 millimeters of size. And then 1 at the bottom, 2 at the top. So 1 millimeter on the top. 0.5 millimeter on the bottom for the flexi part, which that's not far enough. Go down 1 more. Okay. This needs a wedge in it. Foot. Oh, no, we're not. Yeah, I could just do it this way. Whatever. Say about 4. And then 1 to that side, 1 to this side, 1 to that side, 1 to this side. Grab that. Hide. So one of these will be a downwards thing that way, and the other one will be a downwards thing this way. That's just a trash way of doing things. Let's just delete those faces. Maybe need to be quads when you can just be tries. Okay. Ledgy things. Wait, hang on, this is only 3 layers high. Oh boy. I forget how thin these things are, that's the problem. I mean, we want it to be thin, but damn, bro. That's half the size of half of that. Yeah, I don't know. Picked up a gear thing, so now I can stand it. Turny, turny, turn. Why is that just jumping all over the gears? Yeah. The spiral gear things definitely like to be turned one way more than the other. One way forces it in deep, but the other one forces it out. And the forcing out can make it jump. Or the forcing in makes it jump. The forcing out like squishes them both together harder. But it shouldn't be a problem with the differential thing because they're forced within a square with 4 of them, so it should be fine. Or I could just not use the spinny teeth ones, and that works too. Okay. So that's basically that thing. So it moves to one way or it moves to the other way. And ideally that's got enough of a flex to it, which it really... I mean, because for that to flex down, that sort of flexes up. So it's got to have a weird bowing effect going on. I could just extend out its width. How much did I just make that by? Okay. You know, the wider I make it, the better it is. Looks like a face. His eyes and a mouth. Okay, sure, whatever. I still need 2 of them though. That'll be there. So yeah, when they both move one way, I have done this whole thing upside down. Then I also need them to be in more. Because it's got to have slipped over it by that point. Okay. I could just have this thing in rails, or I could have 2 gears. I don't know. I probably should just have one in the middle. Then those will just have teeth racks on them, which is the perfect distance for the teeth racks. Out of the floor. Okay. Technically that would be down a bit, otherwise it's going to be clipping as it goes across. Well, that's a whole extra thing. How do I stop this gear from popping up? Not really going to have a cover over it. I mean, unless I just... Oh, that's the problem. I got to add more layers and more layers because I need a cover for the top of it to stop all the gears from falling off. I need a cover on between there and here. And I need some sort of a, you know, under part for it to all go, like, be supported by. The idea is this should work at any orientation. Not reliant on gravity. Because if I wanted to be reliant on gravity, this thing's a heck of a lot simpler, you know? I'd rather not even have the springs, those are annoying. Especially not that many springs. Well too much force, I only need 2 of them. But I should really design it so the springs are in the center part. I could just extend this out, put springs on it, but then how does the whole thing fit together in the big box? I don't have a place for it as such. There are 2 places it's capable of fitting, I think I could put it. Down on the upper layers. I could flip the whole thing upside down and that opens up some room at the bottom, but it's still above the distribution layer, so I'd have to go up to it and then down to the distribution level. Up 2 levels, go down 1. Oh, but then again, the spring is a circle, which means it will have corners that aren't being used. There's all sorts of stuff. Let's just make the components, and then once I got the logic down, I can redesign it. The only requirements here is the thingy that moves backwards and forwards. The gears are on it. So just this middle part, really. All of this stuff hanging out the side could be anywhere. As long as it connects to this. And that is the input, and that is the output sort of thing. We've got input there, output here. Although I am redesigning this thing now. Okay, so that might actually be damn. Oh, and then it's going to be the way, so it doesn't get pushed outwards. So this thing's going to be moved somewhere else or another gear outwards. Yeah, this differential thing could be anywhere. Okay. Yeah, so that thing spins that. I guess there would be another gear down. Let's say it would be a 2-1 just because I can. I don't think I did the right button now. Let's do it again. Because it's a +1, whatever. I don't care. You are not. Everything's not in alignment. Good. Okay, so that thing goes there. Sliding those backwards and forwards. I could put little railing things on that. This thing's obviously going to go somewhere else now. And has to be connected to this somehow. I feel like I should have it out more and then just have like a rack gear going through. So this just pushes the rack gear and that pushes on that. I don't see any reason why I can't. I just feel like it'd be better if I had a round gear, you know? A rack gear's got to slide within a slot, which adds more friction and things, I guess, where this just has a little pin. And, you know, I guess something above it. But I could add like a little ring buffer thingy on the very, very top if I wanted to lower the friction by a whole lot. But I can only do that on one side. And I can do it on the other side, but it requires supports to hold it there, which means it's a whole lot less flat. It's easier just to cut this to be flat with the knife. Yeah, and I could still do it. We'll just add a little extra annoyance for figuring things out. So many supports. It'd basically just be a ring of supports. Be a wobbly ring too. Whatever. So yeah, obviously this thing can't go here anymore. Where would I want you to be? Out more, I guess? I mean, I could just put it directly where this gear is. I suppose that's just straight up not needed anymore. I guess that's not needed anymore either. Add all that to there. Okay, so that part's fine. Yeah, sort of. I mean, this could be anywhere along the run. Almost. So if this is on the other side... Oh, that's not the other side, what the heck? Oh, because it's just a thing. Fine. So as long as the teeth are meshing with it there. Assuming this is the distance it would be traveling. I don't know until I put things. Where did the what? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean I could add more, just the rack going all the way across. So I could have it even in more. I mean I could literally have just the rack going all the way across. There's no reason for it to... Oh, I guess that thing, yeah. Do I want to move that over more? Is there any reason why it is where it is now? I think that was literally just... It's not even... It is 2 grid. Oh, okay. It's not quite in alignment with that thing, although so was something else. What's that? What are you? Where'd you come from? Leap. Sort of a pin for some reason. Yeah, oh, I guess this thing has to spin. So it has to be far enough away that these don't interact. Just wondering if I could make this box thing thinner. I definitely feel like I could, but I don't know if I should. I mean, that's pretty damn solid. I feel like I could probably half the thickness of that thing. What would be the downsides there? The only real downside I can see is how this gear attaches to that. Yeah, this really doesn't like spinning one way. Yeah, one way spins perfectly fine, the other way keeps jumping. Those spiral gears are directional and have to be custom made for each individual connection, each different type of connection. Why is that still clicking? I think I just got some junk on one of the teeth. Yeah. It really does not like spinning if you turn it wrong way. Doing flex tests. It seems to have twice as much resistance if you go in the opposite direction. When you try to force it in the opposite direction. Yeah, so I definitely feel like... Oh, I could just put the sides. Never mind. Yeah, so the sides of this could just be half as thick. I definitely don't feel like that's going to be too much of a structural problem. The only thing is that pin that sticks out to here, because now that pin is stuck onto something nowhere near as thick, so it might be a little bit more wobbly. But I feel like it should have enough structural integrity. That part's only thick because it requires the thing, so the other half doesn't need to. Oh, well, I suppose that half is the half. Yeah. because it's just got the two pins that hold this gear into place, and it's got that hole going through the middle of it. So yeah, I don't want to have too much give on those. I believe that should be fine. I can even bevel those edges. Wait, can I? Yeah, no. It prints that way around. I mean, technically I could still bevel the edges just fine. At least those four. No, I could bevel all the edges. Bevel. Okay, so that gives me more room to work with as well, tolerances. All around. Alright, but yeah, that can't be that close, so what do I do about that? I could up the size of the gear. I don't really like doing that though. Does it make a difference? I suppose not. It'll be basically that size of a gear that's moving. Oh, that's what the thing is. Okay. That should have been joined to the base plate. But where's the base plate? There it is. No. Oh, it's probably my reference one. Whatever. Okay, yeah, so if that's all... what was I looking at? I was about to go that... Oh yeah, bigger gear. Secure somewhat. I could only imagine that's parented with the wrong one. Oh, it's an instance. Okay. Yeah. So I have to duplicate. No. Duplicate that, then grab this, then do... That was a duplicate. Try again. Duplicate, not instance. Oh, it's got a mirror. No. Oh. Okay. Oh, good. Doesn't have a mirror, that's the problem. Okay. So that can go there, and that should connect. Right. Yep. And that should have plenty of room to mess with. Okay. And now that one has to connect to here. What's the best way to go about doing that?
All those moments will be lost in time. Like tears.
I mean, I could just have two of these gears, couldn't I? Almost. It bridges the gap heat. More mirrors. I could go bigger. But no, that's where a rotation problem is going to happen. I don't know how to go bigger. Well, oh, that's too big. I mean, Doesn't reach anyway. Yeah, so I could just have a big old gear down there. And then just put an extra one between it. The problem is just that angle. I don't suppose that has to be directly diagonal, does it? I don't know. Ah. Whatever, should be diagonal. Okay. So if I could have all of that stuff in line. Yeah. Then I could just put gears between it. Alright. So I want you to be the small gear though. Wait, it doesn't matter. Alright, the question is just what gears fit between that. Hopefully some amount of gears fit between that. Keep instancing, I keep not doing that. I don't know. Diagonal doesn't fit. That's annoying. Okay. Let's do it this way around. What? Whop. Oh, good. The combination of that work? No. It's not quite in the middle. Alright, well the only alternative to that is that one. That one there. And then you could be one of these ones. Oh, I don't know why I thought that was going to reach. More these are the ones. Any of them intersect? No. Well, the alternative is just rotating it until some of these middle points line up with the grid. And if I get any of those to light up with the up and down sort of a thing, then that's a point. I mean, I could just... no. Why do I feel like diagonals are the way to go? Now what am I doing? I want that to light up with this. This is already supposed to be coming off of a center thing. So there should be some sort of a thing to get it to be there. I could literally just, you know... That's all we use? Yep. Could just do that. As long as this doesn't reach the how far out that part goes. I should not be using these. That one at most. I mean, I could be using that. That is the whole point. It just blocks so much area. Oops. Yeah, so I can't build any supporting structure or anything within that. And I could just have rails that like prong inwards. I got all the area above I can mess with. I mean, it just means I don't have to move it quite as far. That seems to almost be perfect. Well, I suppose the other problem with that is, you know, I gotta get this to connect to here. I mean, I could do it. I don't like it, but I could do it. The way to do it is along the lines of that. As long as the circles are touching. Okay. That's not a thing. Is that the sector? I could replace this with two smaller ones. Wait. That's still too far in, what the heck? When did that happen? The whole thing moved in one. Oh. That means it's going to be in even further, it's already too far. Okie dokie. I could have it just coming out and down with just multiple gears. I just want to fit it more simply. So yeah, I could just have this further out and I put a gear here. It'd be nice if it was just one. I mean, I could just do this. What? Bam. I mean, that's not entirely right because it's in flat areas. Circles aren't the most accurate, but whatever. Did I do that again? Did I move it in? No. Okay. So that one should work. Means that doesn't. So I either have to have one extra gear here or one extra gear there. Wait. What? I don't know. There's so many different combinations of junk I could do. It's the whole thing. It's just a placeholder. This would be completely redesigned for the actual thing. Whatever, freehand it. That'll do. Okay! So boop-de-boop. That goes down through this thing. One of them would turn, not the other one, so then it's got to be corrected. This thing turns that thing. It seems like it's a giant gear ratio disaster. But that is the same size as that, and that is the same size as that, so it should just be a one-to-one thing, right? Why do I feel like this is the case, but I feel like it shouldn't be? So if that's rotating, this thing, and this thing's connected to that thing, which then just goes back up again, I believe that should be a one-to-one. That should move in the same speed as that. So it shouldn't be doing any weird ratio jump. Okay, I just got big old circles. A very interesting design. Okay. And then that goes to that. So this thing tries to move away. Yeah, so this thing tries to move away, through, but it can't because there'll be a little notch. I got the ledges upside down. And how do I do this? I could just do that. Then I could select all of that. And there's a little whoop. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So that thing tries to pull through, but it can't because it's going to have a little notch thingy, which is also not there. So I deleted it. Wait, I should be able to just duplicate it from that one, shouldn't I? I want to keep my original notch. Anything else should be different. Alright, again. Oh, the gears aren't parented. Oh wait, because they're parented this thing. Okay. So, yeah, this thing will be moved to a side, whichever side happens to be. And then this thing will be latched here, so it would be moved to that side currently. So this thing wants to move over to here, but it can't because that little latch thingy can't move until this lines up, and then it can pop through. And then it has to also line up with this one so it can pop through. So both of those have to be aligned. So if that can't move, then the power will not flow through that. It'll flow through this instead, which will turn that, which should turn these in the correct direction. 50-50 chance. But I'm going to have to animate this. I'm going to do a heck of a lot of testing before I print this thing. You gotta test everything, literally. Otherwise, you'll run into the same problems before. So I gotta make an animation of everything turning, every component doing its thing. Anyway, so yeah, those will move out, that will move out, then that will be free to slide through. Once these are moved all of the way, they will be blocked by something, so no power can flow through here anyway. So 100% of the power should be flowing through that. So this thing will move to the side. When it moves to the side, where's my little notch? Oh, that is the little notch thing. Okay. So this thing will be over here. Why are you existing again? Hello. Perspective. Yeah, so this thing will be on the other side of that little ledge thing. But it can't push through. I've got to have some sort of physical support connecting that to something. Complicates things a little more. Whatever. Yeah, so that can't move through because that's there. So this moves across, which makes this little wedge thingy interact with that, which will be flexing that little bar up so it can pop across. And once it's flexed up high enough, it should literally jump across because these are springs. This one really wants to push it that way, this one really wants to pull it that way. So that whole top section will just jump across and down on the other side. And by doing so, we've switched from one side of the gears to the other side of the gears. Because that one's connected, it has to go through a different direction, so it's going to go through two gears instead of one gear, which inverts the direction of the turning. With the inverted direction, we start again. So this thing tries to go back, but it can't go back, so this thing has to toggle this thing, so it can go back, blah 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 blah, toggles back again. So yeah, ideally I should be able to wind this one gear just constantly. I'll be able to feel all the friction and stuff as I do that, all the possible tolerances and things, problems. Yeah, and this thingy should be going clickety clackety clickety clack each time reversing the direction of the gears. Okay. So that's the overly complicated overly engineered version of this, I suppose. And I'll remake the whole thing again with just 2 springs down the center, because that's going to be a thing I need to do. How the heck that will work? This is just too many springs. I know it probably will be. And then I'll have to reprint with extra things because this probably needs to go less or more. Anyway, that's the point of the 3D printer, so I can actually just build these things pretty damn accurately in a span of a day each time to print, let alone assemble and remodel. Yeah, it's probably like 2 days for each test, really. Hopefully I get faster. Okay, next problem, supports. What is holding it all together? So this top part's pretty much done, except it doesn't need all this railing junk anymore. So all that can just straight up go away. Why was I making that so thin? I guess those were thicker parts. Yeah, I feel like that should be a 2mm size. Whatever. I also feel like that should have just a back plate, squeezing it between the gear. One thing to talk about, it's another thing to remember what I just talked about and actually do it. Oh yeah, because the other part slots into that. What that's there for. I really don't care about that inner part, I guess. It's got 2 railings of strength. I mean, that should be fine. Guide thing for it. I don't have any of the tolerances set. Oh, it's so much work to make the simplest of parts. And I know I'm going to do something wrong. That's the worst part of this whole thing. I know I'm going to have to print this like 3 times over before I fix all the damn mistakes that I make. I'd be extra cautious, which just slows everything down, but I'm still gonna forget it anyway. Doesn't change anything. Ugh, I feel like I'm out of energy already. I want to eat food. I got a nice delicious microwavable thing, some hot food. I want to eat it before it heats up too much, and I don't want hot food. Anybody watching? If not, maybe I'll just get some food. That has to be inverted. Yeah, so I gotta have supports holding this thing from wobbling around and onto that gear. That is a very small little nodule, whatever you want to call that. So that's 2mm high. Yeah. So that's extra flex. Maybe I should make these side parts thinner as well. I'm not sure about that because it will want to bend inwards. I mean, yes, I should. The problem is just so structurally weak. What? What? Oh. I appear to have one of them ever so slightly out of alignment for some reason. Oh. I don't understand. Oh, okay. No. I'm very confused. Okay. There we go. Okay. So yeah, just some sort of a... I did like a little spacery thing here, and that side, but it's got to be in far enough so when it's lined up to one side or the other, it's whatever. Which appears to be by one, so it'll just be lined up that. Because that needs to slide over the top without interacting with it. I guess I'd curve these down a bit or something. Because I don't want that bending up a bit and then getting caught on. Well, I'll have those be longer anyway. These should definitely be longer. It's already pretty long, but they were really long for us, bro. Give it an extra 2 centimeters out to the side. Millimeters. Get those mixed up. Very least. Okay. The longer I have it, the less friction, less force it requires to push through. Yeah. So yeah, I gotta add all the tolerances, my 2mm tolerance. 2mm. Sure. 2mm is quite a lot of millimeters of tolerance, but whatever. That's painful. Because it too. So yeah, I gotta add my 2mm to everything. Figure out what's printed sideways, add a few extra millimeters to that. 3mm to sideways printed things. I gotta do all of the stuff, cutting all of these. I still haven't got the correct things for that. I should do. I'm just gonna add a whole lot of tolerance to it. See how it goes. I could easily print out more of those gears. It's really annoying. It takes the same amount of effort to clean and things like that, regardless of how much you're printing. Just cutting it off the plate takes ages. It only takes about, 15 minutes to print one of these things. Or I can print 100 of them in still 15 minutes. But then it's still going to be like an hour of, washing things, curing things. Probably not that long. I don't know how it takes that long. 10 minutes to wash it. And then 10 minutes in the ultra, in the UV Curie thing. Then I usually peel it off and I might put it in there for another 5. The undersides usually get a little not quite right. Okay. What else am I ranting about? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna mess with this thing. I'm gonna eat some food. I delayed well too long before doing stuff today. I wasn't even doing anything in particular. Last few days I had an anime I wanted to watch, so I didn't want to start till after that because it's too distracting. Now I'm out of anime, so there's 1 anime. 2 animes. 2 ongoing animes left. Tomorrow's last episode of 1. Or the next day. I don't know. Yeah, so I'll mess with this thing. And, I don't know. It sucks, because I know it's going to be like at least 3 more days of messing around at the pace I'm going at. Why the heck am I so damn slow? And it could just be because I'm ranting. But it's because it's like overwhelmed. Because I need to fix that up, I need to do the supports, then I need to do clearances. But before I do clearances, I need to think about possible future upgrades. I might want to extend this thing, I might want to extend that thing, I might want to extend these things, so clearances can't be in the way of any of those things. Sizes of gears should all be fine, but this might need changes to its internal stuff. So any supporting material has to be following all of that sort of stuff. And then what else is in it there that I'm not thinking about at every single step. Really slows things down. I still got to do the rack teeth. I suppose rack teeth are what I should do next. As far as I know, rack teeth are just pyramids. Easy enough. It should just be flat sides, so I don't know. I got to figure out the math for that, I suppose. I'll probably just print the whole damn thing again when I do the other stuff. I really need a container to put all my old prints in. It's starting to fill up all my table space with just little pieces of stuff around. Anyway. Yeah, there we go. What anime's out today? Probably seen everything already. Got a copyright strike for play like 5 seconds of that slime episode that time. I gotta watch the movie of that, I suppose. There's no quick easy things out, but whatever. I'm so damn tired. Oh, that's right. I was whacking on the roof all day yesterday. I was trying to sleep, climbing up and down the ladder constantly. Oh, it was the worst. I think I had a dream about a spaceship. Yes. No. What? Okay. Flashback. Remembered everything, but only for an instant. There was a spaceship in space. Obviously. But it was on the ground. Friends in it. They didn't really know they were in a spaceship, but they were in the spaceship. Hostages? Or willingly? It was flicker in between. For a while I thought they were hostages, but they seemed to be there willingly and I wasn't sure. I think I could redo stuff. Like I'd been there before, done it all before. I knew stuff that I shouldn't have known. Was I the alien? I could get there from the Earth in an instant. But I wasn't teleporting, I was just there when I thought about it, sort of thing. I was there, but also not there at the same time. Sometimes. Collecting supplies. Preparing. Yeah, I was preparing as if I was going with them, but then I was already there. We had left, but we were still going. Sometimes.